Hey everybody, what's going on? Thank you for joining me today on this Thursday. Happy Thursday. This is episode number 9 of the ACG Show and Tell Social Mixer Summer Series. If you're new to this, ACG stands for Anime, Comic, and Gaming Social Mixer. It's a place where you could mix and mingle with all those who are fans, performers, artists, creatives, anything related to cosplay, to the anime, comic, and gaming genre. So the point of the social mixer piece is for those who are in the audience to join together and also mix and mingle, ask questions to myself, I ask questions especially to the virtual guests that come on here every week or in every episode. So if you are tuning in live, please leave a comment on below, section below, or go to Instagram TV and leave a comment there as well. So of course, this ACG Show and Tell Social Mixer Summer Series is sponsored by Nerd Life Geek Life Instagram page. So if you're interested in all things related to anime, comic, and gaming, please tune there as well. Here we go. Hi, hello.
Hi, I'm here. I'm finally here. Hi.
Yes, it's so lovely to see you and to hear your voice. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you for
joining.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yes, so those of you all are joining in, please, I'm going to give a formal introduction to my guest. This is the amazing, the lovely Samurai Asia. She's a new cosplayer and also a cosplay videographer. She's been working with anime conventions for the past 4 years. She's also studied film and recently has also started her own YouTube channel where she talks about all things, just like us, all things geek culture. So this is definitely a vibe we're going to be feeling it today because we're going to be talking about the same things as well. So aside from that, anything else I missed introducing you about yourself, please let everybody know a little bit more about yourself.
Yeah, I feel like I like do nothing. But yeah.
Oh, you do so much.
Yeah, I think you covered all the points in terms of like geek life. Like I've been going to conventions for years. I started working at them like you said for 4 years, like officially. Maybe 5 is supposed to be this year, but COVID. Fully understandable. I think that's I am just a low life geek. I just nothing special about me, I feel. But yeah, other than I do cosplay. And I think if anything notable, I would say is my growth. Because I think we've been following each other for a while and I've always had this back and forth of I want to start posting like anime content, but I don't know how to start, just like to change like my whole aesthetic of my page. Because obviously most people I meet like are not like into like anime or stuff. So you know, it was just like, oh, how do I just navigate a page? And then earlier this year I just did it and then like I gained like over 2,000 followers within like the span of time. So I'm excited and yeah, that's it.
Wow, that's amazing in such a short amount of time. But that just shows, you know, your enthusiasm and passion for it, you know? Because I myself, I didn't think about starting these social mixers, but I realized that it's, you know, I'm a fan of it. This is my hobby. I enjoy it in so many ways and also creative ways. And, you know, I myself also am call it a closet gamer, anime kind of geek myself. And I grew up like that. I didn't know like who to talk to about it in high school growing up. You know, you said something that like, oh, that's, you know, weird. And, you know, lucky enough, I found my little group. You know, you find little groups in school.
I was that one annoying person who was I was like president of the anime club. Like I was very like on anime. It was just, you know, when you first get into it and it's like uncontrollable, you just have to keep talking about it and you're like, oh, like I just want to find everyone who likes anime. So I was I was very ooh yeah, I was and
you let it loud and be known.
I'm sorry?
You let it loud and be known, like this is your thing.
Well, for 2 years, I was very involved. But I also met a lot of people who were into it, just like me. So it was great to have a little community, especially in something like anime and like gaming. Like it's so like I don't know for a gaming standpoint, but I was so addicted to League of Legends. Like it was like so like it was I like didn't leave the house. It was just it was terrible. I'm so glad I'm out of that. But yeah, it's
right. I think it's, you know, growing up in an urban area, like, you know, I grew up born and raised in the Bronx in New York City, and it was like, how do you find, you know, it's such a small world when you find people that do, you know, are into the same genre, you know, especially geek and nerd culture that when you find them, you just click with them right away. And I think in
Yeah.
my school, we didn't have anything, like anything related to
Hmm.
anime gaming. No one knew anything about it
Yeah.
yet. So it was still sort of like hidden, like in the closet kind of thing. But
Yeah.
now, when I was a teacher, now students were involved in it, like anime
Hmm.
clubs, like you were saying, and now there's gaming clubs. And it's so interesting to
Hmm.
see how it's growing into
It's
something
so
that
normalized.
to be
So
aware of,
normalized.
right?
So
Mm-hmm.
normalized. It's insane. You think it was such a small community, like back when I was in high school. Now it's like evolved. I got into anime fairly late, I want to say. I knew what it, I don't think, I think I knew what it was, but watching Saturday morning cartoons and I see Dragon Ball Z. I'm like, what is this? I'm like, I'm like, I don't know something else, you know? And then it was like I was like rewatching Avatar: Last Airbender for a summer, and my friend was like, "Hey, like here's this, you might like this," and I was like, "Okay." So then I watched it. Inuyasha was my first anime,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, that's like again,
Yes.
I was like maybe a freshman in high school. I want to say freshman in high school. That's when I ventured the world.
Well, like I know, I think Inuyasha is like one of those that it definitely will hook you.
It was,
you
yeah,
know?
I remember, I supposedly was on TV. I just, like I said, like, I never was like a Toonami. Like, I was never, I wish I knew it exists. Like, you don't, like, I was just a I was a Nickelodeon child. I love Cartoon Network, like,
Mm.
Courage, Carly Dog, and other shows, and Cat and Dog, like, Ed, and Eddie. But, like, for some reason, I just never, like, gravitated towards anime, like, at that time. I don't know why. Not in it.
Right. Yeah, for me it was like in the mornings of Channel 11 getting ready, and they would give Pokemon and Sailor Moon.
Pokemon,
But
yes, I watched
I was already
I
out the
watched
door. But my
Pokemon. So,
sister was staying and watching it. But and then eventually, like you said, Tsunami, and then Tail Swim, and then I just you connect with other people, and you realize back in the day you had to like go to Chinatown, and you had to go and get the VHS cassette tapes and wait for those to come out. It wasn't like internet now that you could just stream it. So it was so
even then.
underground. Hmm.
I feel like even like on the internet, there were so many more like illegal like anime streaming sites that like that were open. Like there were so many. You had options, and I remember Crunchyroll being a thing, but I wasn't I was using AdBlock to be honest. Now I pay for Crunchyroll in Funimation, but like I remember there's being so many sites, and were you a Tumblr user at all? Like
Yes.
yeah. The anime world on
That was
Tumblr was
definitely
like
it.
it was just beautiful. Like people were getting gifs and everything, or gifs of like all the anime. I was like, this is life. This is it. Um, oh, the age of the internet has like grown so much. I'm like, whoa.
Hmm.
Like,
And to see it grow together with the genres of anime and gaming, comic and gaming, it's like you're growing up with it as well and seeing it
mhm.
evolve, from something that was just Japanese based and now it's very international.
Yeah, now companies like Netflix like having like anime originals and
Yeah.
Crunchyroll. That's like a huge thing. I'm like, whoa, whoa. It's like so, like you never imagine that like we can like there's no way that you like it's not our lane. It's not our lane. And then it's like, oh yeah, but we're gonna take that too. So I'm like, it's kind of cool. And I think what's awesome about it is that the original content is good. You would think like, oh, it's based on it looks like it's good, but like the content is like amazing. I'm watching Doro Hiroto, I think it's
Yes.
called on Netflix,
Mhm.
and it is so good. I'm like addicted. Like I was watching it before I came online, and I was like, oh, like I was actually gonna cosplay it today, but I just ran late from like working from home. I'm thinking to do a cosplay tomorrow from the
Oh, awesome. We're going to look forward to that. So, everyone watching or going to watch later on, please look forward to that. Can't wait. So, I know you want to talk about a couple of topics. So, of course, you being a cosplayer and a videographer. So, what made you get into each of them separately and also mix them, especially mix them together? That's so unique.
Yes. So my first anime convention was Anime Boston. And I went by myself because I did not have anime friends. I guess to say were my conventions, and I remember
Same
being
thing.
there.
I went solo on my first ones too. So, it's all
Right,
good.
it was like, and I remember being there, and I was in cosplay. My mom dropped me off. She drove me to Boston, and I remember being there, and I remember calling my friend Brian, and I was tearing up because I was so alone, and I was like, I wish I had a friend here. Um, so that was like my first, like, I guess, seeing so many cosplayers. I don't think I cosplay. I think I maybe like dressed up in like a kawaii clothing or something like Lolita,
Right.
but I don't think I think when I was at Comic Con, I think the year after, or I think that same year I went to Comic Con, I did a Kiki's Livery Series. It was my first one. And I just remember that gratifying feeling of like, wow, someone wants to take my picture. like someone like saw the work that I put in. Like it wasn't even like I was making armor or anything, but you know, just the fact that someone like thought I was cool, you know, and like they noticed me, and that like gratifying feeling, like I just like never forgot like that. I remember exact location where it was, like at Comic Con. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, wow, like you know, like someone cares. I never forgot about that. But as time went on, I guess I got insecure from cosplaying. I just was like, I like looking at them, but I was like, oh, I don't know if I can't. I like I could sew a quilt, but I couldn't. I wasn't crap. I wasn't like I could buy a cosplay, but I was
Mm-hmm.
mostly buying anime merch at the time. So then I think time went on, and I discovered like anime cosplay music videos on YouTube. 'Cause I'm obsessed. I'm like anime on YouTube. I'm like, what can I find? And I find I come across the person who starts it all. His name was Beatdown Boogie, and he was an anime cosplay videographer. And I literally fell in love. It was, you know, so I was a computer science major at the time. So like that moment when you like, find something else, like other than what you're doing, like I can't like explain the feeling. Maybe it's like a spiritual feeling of like this is what I'm supposed to do, but that's the best way to describe it. So like, oh, this is so cool. So I watch like all his videos like throughout the year. I'm like, oh, this is so awesome. I mean, you know, I'm like, you know what? Like, I'm gonna buy a camera. I'm gonna buy a camera. I'm gonna do it too. Like, why not? Um, so I buy a camera, and the first con I go to with my camera to do the cosplay music video was KatsuCon, and that was
Right.
KatsuCon maybe 2018, 2016, I want to 2017 or 2018. KatsuCon was my first one. Um, and it was like I can start caring about it. It was the most amazing experience of my life.
I talked about Casa kind of bit with my last guest, because he mentioned
Yeah.
going there,
Yeah,
and
it was so much
they
fun.
just say
One,
it's
yeah.
like an experience. I'm like, I
It
haven't been, but I think I gotta go now.
It is so much fun. I tell you, you have to go. I think what I like about KatsuCon is that the age for people who go is older. At least people who I saw went during time. It's definitely an older crowd, which is what I liked. Was why I liked it so much. Then there's like a rooftop bar lounge that all the cosplayers go to in cosplay. It's like fucking amazing. Like
Yeah.
it was just so cool. And you know, I was like working like a normal shift, like 8 hours a day, like recording videos, like trying to get the angles, like meeting so many people. And I remember one night, I'm like so tired. I'm going back to my hotel room. I just want to take a really long nap because my back hurts from recording all day.
Mm.
And I see Beat Down Boogie, the person who inspires me. And it was like, I started tearing up. It was such an amazing experience because I went up to him. I was like, shit, like, hey, like, you inspired me to do this. Like, I have this camera, like, you know, like, it was like, yeah, I watched your videos, blah, blah, blah. And he was just so encouraging. And like, I walked away and I was like, whoa, like I was supposed to meet him. Like I don't know,
Yeah.
like I don't know, I don't like religious things, like if it was God or if it was just like coincidence or maybe there's no such thing, but
Or
like
the
it's like
universe.
the universe like working. And like I went to my hotel room and I was like, this is what I'm supposed to do. And I think the next week when I went back to school, I changed my major to film to do
Mm.
this and like that was that. And it was just such an amazing feeling, like meeting people, recording. And it was just like after that I started off, and then I started doing videography for other things, like I do it for work as well now. But yeah, I my hopes is to, you know, become uh, if I can get paid for it in the future to be a cosplay videographer. That would be ideal to work for Microsoft, you know.
No, right. That sounds
And
amazing. I
yeah,
think
so
like
that
you got that vibe. I think
oh
every
thanks.
entrepreneur knows this feeling. Like if you could just be like me myself, like you could be asleep one day, you wake up at 3 in the morning, and your calling just comes to you, or you're doing something, or you
Yeah,
spot something, and
it was like
just
like I can't if I can go like I still remember that feeling so well of like wow, like this is what I'm supposed to do. And like I don't regret it for a minute, like whatsoever. And to be honest, the reason I went to computer science, I was at Comic Con one year, and you know, like before I graduated, they're like, you know, this is Crunchyroll. Like we're looking for like software engineers. I was like, I want to be
mm,
computer science, like work for Crunchyroll. Like that was like that was my whole point for that. But you know, also, you know, coming from a cosplay videographer standpoint, being at a bunch of conventions, I probably go to like 6 conventions or 7 conventions a year.
mm,
I would say there is a lack of women in the cosplay videographer community, or, you know, people of color. So that's something I noticed. Yeah, that's definitely a big thing. And I think from, being a woman or anyone who identifies as a woman, how like uncomfortable it can be when you have so many like men around you like trying to take your picture, like trying to get a video of you, like maybe you're wearing something, your cosplay is a little more explicit. Like I know personally, like I am not one who'd probably feel comfortable with that. People who are, like, bless their souls, and I can see it. So there's been incidences where I've been there and someone has asked something odd of a female or someone who identifies as a female cosplayer. I'm like, imagine having to deal with that all day. So I'm glad that I am just one of the very few female cosplay videographers who can, I guess, hold some, I guess, like comfort or like a cushion of like it's okay, I respect your space. I'll try to make you feel comfortable. So then that's something I guess that like fuels me as well.
Right, you definitely have that energy, and I can feel it, coming from you that, anyone would feel comfortable around you and in a space that, is not predominantly with women and people of color,
Mhm.
it's gonna be something that people identify with. Those that identify just feel that comfort zone. So, besides the physicalness, you bring the vibe, just that feeling, and people can read vibes, it's I believe in the energy, reading energy of people, and
Yes,
you could,
I do
I
too.
can feel that, So if you feel uncomfortable, you feel it. But if you feel something's, genuine, it's
Yeah.
gonna work out.
And I've met some friends who honestly I do think I have friends in the classic community, but I think how I am very like I guess I wouldn't say particular friends, but I would say I'm antisocial, but I have a few friends at home that I'm like I call the time and like blah blah blah. And sometimes it's overwhelming, like with the amount of like followers I gained. It's not a lot for some people at all, and it's completely fine. But I'm like, whoa, like so many like new friends and people, and I'm like it's kind of a lot. It's kind of like I want to be friends with everyone, but it's also, I think it's important to protect your space as well. And it's like, yes, like we can be
Snaps to
friends, but
that.
it's just like we can be friends, but like I don't think we have to be. I think it's romanticized in the sense of the cosplay
hmm
community where you have to be friends with like every single person that
hmm
it's in the community, like close, and they talk to them all the time. I don't think that's the case. I think we should romanticize more of just like supporting people and just like yeah, it's cool. I love what you did. That's great. Like, but we don't have to like text every day or DM each other every day to be like supportive of each other. So that's
hmm
just me. I feel like I still sometimes get that lonely feeling at anime convention. Because I don't. So I staff at conventions. If anyone wants to know, that's you go for free. Staff at conventions. I have not paid for an anime convention in 4 years. And all you have to do is volunteer a few hours of your time, which, it's a few hours of your time. Do that. Especially for expensive cons like KatsuCon. The venue is like extremely expensive. And, you should
hmm
just volunteer in a department. I super recommend it. And because of that, like I don't go to con with friends. I am going to con with staff, and then I can only hang out with staff on like free hours. So it's also like I can see friends from time to time, but also like I still get that lonely feeling of like, hey, like I didn't go with
hmm
like, it's I don't explain it. Like I am maybe things are changed now since like I kind of have can you volunteer in cosplay? It depends. My cat just jumped up. It depends on the department. Most departments will say no. If you were in registration, I definitely believe you can volunteer in cosplay. If you're not familiar with registration, it is like where they check people in with tickets and stuff. Security, you definitely cannot wear cosplay. Some cons
hmm
require you to wear the shirt that they give you. Um, it differs between all cons. If anyone wants a recommendation for a convention for next year, let me know and I can get you one. I've been to NA Boston for staff. I've been to maid cafes. Maid cafes, it's cosplay, kind of cosplay.
Yeah.
So you could work and cosplay in the maid cafe. Definitely at
hmm
KatsuCon. Otakon has a maid cafe as well. I'm not sure if MA Boston has a maid cafe. But yeah, I surprised me that people like pay for conventions. I'm like, I have not paid for a convention in so long.
Right.
Like, and I'm
It's taking a very strategic way
it's
about it, which
like they
is,
give you free food, a hotel. Like it is a different experience. I just recommend it like hard.
yeah,
Like
especially if you want to work in the field in any kind of capacity, that's the way to go. And you're going about it the right way. It was perfect. So I wanted to
Exactly.
move to the next
Yeah.
question. So you give credit to cosplay in helping you, break out of social constraints, that we've had in our lives. So in what ways did it do that, and does it still today?
Oh gosh. Yes. Okay. So I guess I'm gonna say an emotional person. I think like everyone, we have things going on, and not everyone is at 100% all the times, and so it's hard being consistent for me. Sometimes I'm like in the beginning I was super on it. I was like super posting cosplays all the time. That's I was like, oh, I'm gonna post all the time, I'm gonna grow fast, like blah blah blah, and then you get burned out.
Mhm.
And people talk like, oh,
Right.
you get burned out, post every day, and I'm like, I'm just not gonna get burned out. Like, please no. And
Mm-hmm.
it happened to me. And it's insane. And then sometimes like other external things can affect like your posting schedule or like connecting with people, and then it's numbers, and it's like you have friends who
Mm-hmm.
are going really fast, and people say, oh, like it's just you have to just, it's a hobby, you have to like it. But what for some people, they're spending money at these cosplays, they're putting so much time and effort. It takes me maybe 3 hours to put a photo together, like from taking the photo, getting the cosplay together. I do a lot of heavy editing on my photos, because I change the color, and like add like certain elements to the cosplay that's not in the picture. So it takes me 3 hours to do it, and that's like 3 hours of my time. And it's like, yes, I'm doing this for fun, but I think everyone's ideal is get paid from this. So that also adds a little bit of stress because you want to just be happy. I'm like, oh, like I just want to do this for fun. It's also like people are going so fast, like what is wrong with me? And that also becomes something that puts, like, especially for me, like puts me in a box of maybe I'm not good enough, like maybe I'm not meant to be a cosplayer, maybe like I'm not like even meant to be in like this like community. So I think that's also a part. And I think I am still working from that, so I can't really offer advice to say how to break out of that, that societal mode of just like go, 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 go. And we're from New York, so like that hustle bustle urban life of like just go, go, do it, do it, do it. And you can
Yep.
go outside to the city, seeing people who are like beautiful and pretty. And I'm like, fuck, like like what's wrong with me? So I'm still working on that. And I try to be like motivational and pretty transparent on my page, I believe, whenever I'm feeling sad, and the kind of content that I post. I try to be transparent. I think like people can see that through my post as well. How I write posts, especially. Um, and yeah, I'm definitely still in the be walking phase of cosplay, I feel. And I think honestly, sometimes some people just have it. And I think that's okay. I think it's okay. I think everyone has a gift at things. I think I read this thing, I don't know if it was by Gary Vee or something, and they're like, if your child can't sing, you're telling them to keep singing, but they still can't sing. Like, I think it's like that. I think my strong suit, like, I don't think it's cosplay. I think I am good at editing. I think I'm good at like XYZ, but I don't think I don't think I ever make armor in my life. Like, I just don't think I have it like that in the way that I want. So I think it's just coming to accept that and not to put more pressure on myself that like I can never be as good. I will never get as much likes, XYZ. So did I answer your question? I feel like I went on a tangent a little bit.
No, no, that
Okay.
definitely does
Okay.
because it's one of the things that we have to kind of address as an elephant in the room for a lot of spaces, especially with social media, because we see influencers and the followers they have and how they're 24/7 posting,
Mm.
if it's even them or
It's
it's a
hard,
bot or
and
whatever
they're
it is.
working
But
hard. Yeah, they're
yeah,
working
so
hard,
we
and
have to realize that it's not
it's
all
not
like
for
we
everyone.
see.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and I think that's the thing. I think I was like, I just want so bad. I want 10,000 followers. Why can't I have 10,000 followers? It's also like, maybe I'm, like I, like some people just like, and I think that's okay. I think it's normal okay to be like, hey, like you're not gonna grow as fast. Like that's okay. Like it's just like you. Like I think, having to, take our ego, like, and like lower it, like some people are just putting in more work than you that you're probably not seeing. I think something I deal with a lot, especially like, and I think it's okay to be jealous. I think people, I don't want to speak for everyone, but I think we try to say don't be jealous of other people who are growing
Mm.
XYZ, but like fuck, like I get so jealous. Like I'm like fuck, like I think my content's good. Like why are people liking my stuff? And I think it's okay to just like go with the flow, and I'm still dealing with that. So I'm still dealing with jealousy myself. And those people I'm jealous
You have
of,
to
they
address
have,
all those feelings,
yeah,
because if
and
you
like they have
don't,
great content.
you're fighting with yourself. But you have to know,
Yeah,
why am I jealous? Why am I feeling this? Is this jealousy
exactly.
out of a place of love, like I love what they're doing, I want to do it, or fear,
Yeah,
like I'm not going to be
exactly.
better than them?
Exactly. And the thing is, like, they're still great cosplayers themselves. Like, I think I have to, get up this high horse of like, maybe my content's better, maybe my feed's better. And it's like, it's probably not. It's, I have such a high ego, which is probably maybe why I'm not growing. Like, maybe there are probably so many other factors. And I think it's just, coming to terms with that and just still being supportive. Like, like sometimes it hurts, but like I think it's like adulting. I think that just
Yeah,
makes you an adult. It's like one of your friends is growing, but it's still supporting them. It's still, pushing them from the back and, still like walking, beside them or behind them until you get to that place as well, that where you can offer advice for like how I grew, like, how I got where I was. And I complain about it, but like I guess it sounds bad for you complaining about like, hey, yeah, I was at 600 followers during the year. Now I'm at 3,000. And I guess that's like the hungriness and greediness of it as well. Because I just want to grow faster. It's like you just, and honestly, like, oh, don't get lost in the numbers. But once you're gaining followers, I'm telling you, it is hard to not get lost in the numbers and all these visual
yeah.
things. And I've
Definitely a
come,
new age thing, because I'm
yeah,
pre-internet, and something I learned from just my experience being in the era before internet and being in it now as an entrepreneur. Something I learned from a social media consultant. His name is George Urban Hibero, and he said it's not about the amount of influencers, it's not the influencers, the numbers. It's all about the influence those influencers have. So what influence are they giving to others
exactly.
out there? you know
Exactly. And
hmm
and that's something I think about a lot with my page in terms of the type of message I want to give off, because I don't know if I want to give off like cosplay. Like I don't, like honestly, like I don't think I love cosplay and editing and doing it, but I'm like, is this what I want to do every single day of my life? Like I'm a videographer at heart. Like I love video. I would love to work at an anime company and make content. I think that is something I think I want to be an influencer, but I want to make videos. Like that's what like I want to do. I think those are
you
romanticizing
take it each
everything.
moment. In this moment, this is what
Yeah,
I'm doing, this is what you're doing, and you just have to put our all into it. I
exactly.
know that this is something that we were called to do during this moment in
Exactly. And
time.
exactly, if I'm not called to do this anymore, then like I'll just move where the wind blows me. Like it is what it is. But yeah, I think so. Like just like to end that note, I'm still dealing with like jealousy and XYZ, but I still support everybody. I think it's something I have to work on with myself. With whatever I'm doing and the content I'm posting. And that's it. I think I'm saying like when people they say the numbers, I'm telling you, like it's hard not to. It's hard not to not
Hmm.
get so caught up when you're watching YouTube because I had to grow XYZ. It's so hard, and there's so many times I'm doing like constant resets of like, okay, like why am I doing this again? Like why did I start doing this cosplay content? It's because I loved
Hmm.
it. It's because I loved anime. Like I thought it was so cool. Like like I come from a video editing standpoint, so and like retouching. So I love to do that. So I'll just like intertwine it into two, and hopefully I can be a career of this. Like that's why I'm doing it. Like I want to inspire people. I want to say in terms of like pushing content in terms of like anime motivation was kind of like the content I want to go into of just
Hmm.
like inspiring people like with their favorite anime quotes of like why anime means so much to them and like how can we intertwine this into real life, like real life, but like the outside world.
Right.
So yeah, I think
Hmm.
that's just like the direction I want to go in. And yeah, I mean, I just love it. Like I love it, and I think it's hard, once you get a little bit of followers and questions, it's like, oh God, like bro, like I just people like me, and I'm like, I don't know why people like me. I'm like, I am a potato. I am open out like a potato. So but then it's like people like fan art of me. I'm like, whoa, like this is an amazing experience, and yeah, I wouldn't change it for the
It's
world.
authenticity and transparency. You're being your true authentic self. You're being transparent on the ups and downs of this whole process, and you're being real, like we're not in a box. We don't fit in a box, and we shouldn't.
Exactly,
I think
exactly.
it's the vibe going on today. Because I was speaking to another content creator, um, Kevin, who's a rapper that goes by Advice. He mentioned
I
the
love
same
Kevin. You
thing.
want
Yeah,
Kevin fast?
yeah. So so he talked about that. He put on his Instagram, and I said, I think there's the vibe going on because I felt that too today. We don't fit in a box.
Mm-hmm.
We're able to be multifaceted, like he was saying. I agree with it.
Yeah, I'm at I intern at Global Citizen, and today's I think tomorrow's my last day. And I think I
Mm-hmm.
posted before, I was just super stressed at work, and I was just like, jobs, so 9 to 5, work, blah, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I was stressed. And one of my friends told me that we said about the box, some people were not made for conventional jobs. Like some people are just so creative. We want to start our own things. We're entrepreneurs. We're artists. Like there's so many things. And it's okay to, and that's why we feel so off. It's because we're not following like society's standpoint of like what a job should be, the type of job you should get from college. I'm so stressed about it. I'm like looking at jobs online all the time. I'm stressed,
Mm-hmm.
it's hard. It's like so hard to just money, it's just kind of like the world revolves around money. So it's kind of hard not to be stressed about it, honestly, truly. But I know
Right.
will be, and
Exactly.
a lot of our content, I end up creating, or however it blows, like for the content creation, I was going to be a YouTuber, and it took me 4 years to start a YouTube because of like
Mm-hmm.
external things and internal things, and I started it, and I'm like still scared to post, so like it's just kind of one of those, like just being in the box and just kind of like still trying to push out your content on at the same time.
Right. So we have one more topic. Do you think we have time to talk about this last topic before we go into your show piece?
Yes.
Okay. So you mentioned you want to talk about, which is important for me as well too, as an educator and a parent, and also doing this content, is balancing social media and outside life.
Okay.
So what is your take on that? Any tips or support or because
yes.
I know I'm like not the best. I'm working my way trying to figure that out too.
Yeah. Man. Okay. So, like I said, it takes me about 3 hours to put a picture together and then post it. So that's 3 hours. And in terms of social media tips, and to grow on social media, you have to be posting constantly throughout the day. You have to have interaction, and you want to have shareable content. That is the way to grow, by having shareable content.
Mm-hmm.
So you ask people, like, directing the message and sending to other people. It's them commenting on your story, asking things, giving feedback on the poll question. It's making TikToks now. It's making reels. It's so many things, and you're also supposed to. And for me, what's hard now is I'm working during the week, and I'm like, oh, this is kind of hard. Like I'm like doing my job. I want to post like a really bubbly, like, hey guys, like what's up, blah, blah, blah. And it's just kind of like, when I'm stressed at work, I'm just like, I have this piece to finish up that's due tomorrow, like XYZ, and it's super hard to balance if you're not in, I want to say, a stable mental state and where you have the time to do it. Maybe you do. Maybe you have the time to do it, and I think it's different, honestly speaking, when people can balance it. I condemn to them. I know I cannot balance things like that, especially if I'm not in the mood. I am very into my feelings, and I will not post. Like, I only posted the stories about today, and for the speaking today, and a brief story of like, hey, I'm about to go on. But the whole day today, I didn't post because I'm like, I'm working from home, I'm doing this, I don't feel like showing my face, I don't feel like posting. I'm like in pajamas until like just recently. Like, this isn't for me. Like, I just did my eyebrows. So
you're living your outside life, which is what people have to remember. We have outside lives. Yeah.
And the thing is, I want to be, someone that people can just like talk to, blah blah. But that goes back to the thing of romanticizing that you have to be, everybody's friend, romanticizing, like that. It doesn't have to be like that. Like, you can be acquaintances, like you can hit each other up like once in a while, like, and that's okay. Like, you don't have to text all the time to be friends, or to be there. But also goes back into the whole thing we're talking about influencers, about having, like, is it for you? Because at the same time, it's like, that's what you have to do. You kind of be posting all the time. Like, you kind of have to be engaged with your followers all the time. You kind of have to be hitting people up all the time. So that's also another thing as well. So in terms of balancing, I want to say if you have the time, and there are tools like I've used, like Icon Square. There's also Later and Hootsuite that I know a lot of big companies use. As well for managing and planning their media. And there are also like Instagram analytic tools. I'm like so into this. Instagram analytic tools where you can monitor your content, see how many people are looking at it, reviewing it, even on Instagram. It also schedules your posts as well. So say you're like me, who doesn't have time, but you take a picture, but it's like past your posting time that you got the most ideal views or likes for that photo. And then so I lost my thought. Okay. So, so then you schedule it and then it'll post it at that time.
Right.
If you do something different. So you could use tools like that as well to help you with your growth. If you don't have the time, but for me, like I'm still like after I decided, okay, when my internship ends, then I'll like go back to consistent posting schedule, like being there and creating content. So I think it's hard to balance it, honestly. I think we knock it as it's really easy. But when people are posting all the time, they're putting in a lot of work. And I don't think, it doesn't, it takes
Yeah,
time
we have
to
to
write
see
a
both
caption.
sides of the coin.
Yeah, it takes time to write a caption. It takes time to put a post together, choose a picture, maybe edit it a little bit. Like all these things take time. Like, what are you gonna say on your story? Like going live. Like what are you doing in your live?
Right.
I think all those things take time, and I think we should give all types of content creators a credit where it's needed. That it's like not an easy thing to do to be posting consistently. And in the beginning I had a good posting schedule because I was actually driving myself crazy with like multitasking, trying to post consistently, especially for like cosplayers. I think some notable months, especially for being a POC cosplayer, like February is a big month because that is like Black History Month, and that's something we do like 29 days of like Black cosplay. So that's like for you, you want to be posting consistently because that's where you get like a lot of followers. People are shooting work all the time. Like I was trying to post like so much. I think I had maybe like 15 posts or 20 posts that month. I was trying to like get my content out there like super fast, and I was like so drained by the end of the month. I was like, I don't want to post anything for a week. I didn't post anything. There's also Halloween, which is like I'm participating this year. Which like you see so many like makeup pages and maybe like other
Right.
cosplay pages that are gonna post almost every day like a new look for Halloween or every other day. So that's also a notable month. So it's also like, can you do that? Can you post tutorials? And I think it's a lot. It's a lot if you want to like get into depending on like what your area is, especially like the makeup community. I think it takes a lot of time to do it. It takes a lot of time
Definitely time and
to do
planning
your
ahead,
makeup, especially like
right?
body paint and XYZ, even do a tutorial as well. Like so yeah, I think time management is a big thing, but I think not only time management, but like, do you really have the time or the mental space to do it? I think that's what I focus
Definitely.
on. Like, am I mentally well to do this? Like, am I
Right.
what kind of mood am I in? Am I gonna fake it and like post it anyways? Like, so I think that is one thing to just keep in back of your head. I think for people wanting to post on a more consistent basis, or whether you're balancing your social life and your cosplay life. Do you have help at all? No, I don't have help at all. I post everything by myself. Like I said, I'm a videographer by trade, so I do have an expensive camera, and I am blessed I was able to pay for that myself. So then, and I do have like editing software that I know because it is in the field I am, so I definitely think I do have an advantage in that point. So like it's just why it takes me a long time because I don't have people making my cosplays. I don't buy cosplays anymore actually unless they're wigs. Maybe sometimes, very rarely. I haven't bought a cosplay since March. I want to say maybe March. I think was the last time I bought a cosplay. And just because I've been trying to be creative with cosplays, I've been trying to just use around the house. And for editing, I'm really good at changing colors. And editing things around it. So I can make things look like different. I think a recent cosplay I did, I don't know if her name was Yura, I think maybe from like Inuyasha. I have like a black
Right.
dress on and like a bow, I want to say. And that dress
Yeah.
was green and I edited it black and I added like a bow.
Interesting.
I finessed that. There's so many like cosplays that I change. Like a Danny Phantom one I did. I was wearing like a black turtleneck with a black shirt
I would never
And
even realize. Like I
yeah,
saw
and I
those
edited the
as.
turtleneck white, and then I put the I edited in like a D. I like painted it like for the edit myself, like in post. I edited my eyes green. Like for people who can afford to buy cosplays in a lot, that is the way. I personally don't have the money to spend on cosplay like that. There's other things in my life right now that
So you
unfortunately
use your
I don't.
professional
Yeah,
aspect of videography to do
exactly.
that,
And editing
which
to
is
do
great,
that.
which is what I want to get into the next piece, which is your show part. So those of you who are just joining us, thank you. I'm here with my virtual guest, Samurai Asia, cosplayer and videographer, also anime YouTuber. So she's going to be taking the floor and showing us a little bit about her videography skills and process. So if any questions you have for her, please put them in the comment box below here live or later on Instagram TV.
Okay,
I'll let you take the floor.
okay, cool. So I guess I want to just show a bit of my, I guess, my custom music video. And I guess in terms of like editing techniques, you didn't see my Katsukan music video. I basically did like an intro, I want to say, of like to why we love Katsukan, XYZ. So in the beginning of the video, I use something called speed ramps. So basically things are really fast and they go really slow again, and they go fast and they go slow again. I think why I like my Katsukan music video so much is that I implemented sounds from people's cosplays and put it into the video. So there's like I just put I put a video up of my friend Joel Joe, and he was Miss Piggy, and I put the sound of like Miss Piggy's voice like inside the cosplay video as well. So I'm just gonna go to a random point into the video. I guess this is like an editing program.
Okay.
I want to say that if just really quick what I use.
Great.
So this is Premiere Pro. I don't know if I have anything. This is the right sequence. So this is Premiere Pro. Okay, it's going. It's going. Okay.
There you go.
Sorry. So this is Premiere Pro. This is the editing software that I use. I think a bunch of people use it for if you're into the like tech field or people who are photographers. I know they use Photoshop and Illustrator,
Right.
Illustrator Lightroom often. And then for video editing, you can use Premiere Pro or After Effects. I primarily use Premiere Pro. This is kind of like the outlook of it. So here's your timeline where you're going to put your clips, XYZ. So for instance, here is my timeline, and then I'll show you, I guess, in post what it looked like after.
Awesome.
Okay, so then
It's amazing to see this behind the scenes stuff because usually, we just see the
it like produced. Yeah, and
outcome.
here on the side is the coloring. We can add colors. I'm not sure if this is the final. I don't think this is the final timeline because all the stuff is missing. I don't know where that timeline is right now, unfortunately. Okay, so then here's just So here's just a part of it. So that's so if you go into that really quick, so I just did like a speed ramp. So all those little, so these are called speed ramps, and you can basically pull them out and edit the speed of the video. So if we go over here, Michael Jackson, the speed goes up, then it goes down, then it's regular, then it goes up again, then it goes down, it goes up again, and then it goes down. So if we just play it back. And then here's the next one. It goes up, then it goes up again, then it goes down, goes up, and then down. So that's how basically it goes. And I can choose multiple clips from here in my bin. So there's a lot of like cosplay clips, and I probably oh god, I don't know how many clips I have. This one is just inside B-roll. I have like outside B-roll. I have another bin. I have Artist Alley, I have B-roll, inside Artist Alley. And those are not cosplays. So those are just other clips I took. And then what I do when I take the videos, I ask cosplayers what their cosplay is. So if you can
Mm-hmm.
see, I labeled each cosplay that it's, that Battle Zelda, XYZ, Beetlejuice, blah blah
Right.
blah. So that in the so with cosplay videos now, people want to know what who's a cosplayer and what cosplay did really good work on videos that he takes. But a lot of people gravitate towards him was because he puts the cosplayer and the word cosplay is from in his videos. I think his videos took off when someone commented on Beat Down Boogie's video, like, hey, Mineral Blue, his name is Mineral Blue, you need to have your, and I saw it and I was like, and after that, Beat Down Boogie did not post any more videos. I was like, oh wow, it just changed the age, I think, of cosplay music videos. I think after that, people started to put, the titles and like where the cosplayers is from, as well. And I understand that, but it's also a lot of work for the videographer to edit
Right.
that title in. I guess what people understand is how long it takes for me. So if I just go back a bit, I'll just start here. So for me, for the text that I have, my text writes on screen, and that is a lot harder. I want something different than like the regular like fade in, fade out for my text.
Right.
So yeah, I think people underestimate how I know we want to at the cosplayers XYZ, but it does take a lot of work for that extra stuff. I know people want it, but like I also know why some videographers don't put it in, because you're typing out, either ask each cosplayer, remember what their cosplay was, so that was like another thing that I understand, but I did try to include it into my piece because I know it's helpful, and when people want to see their work and makes your work more shareable, when you're like, hey, this is you, if you want to repost my video, you can, XYZ. So I guess it only helps you out in the end. But yeah, I think, do you want to see more of it?
So that's amazing. Great work. I think I saw the full video when you had did CosmoCon before. It was great. It was really, and I'm always amazed by, like, I didn't know this thing about, I'm not a videographer, so just hearing about using speed ramps and these programs and just knowing I guess you also gotta have the eye to know like what
Yeah,
angle to also do
yeah.
it with as well.
There's so many, and I think it depends on your editing style, because my editing style, I want to say some videographers, I'm not speaking for all videographers, maybe they're just slow-mo, for all their shots, or maybe they're doing speed ramps like me, or maybe there are a lot of like fun style cosplay that goes like in and out of like like a party scene and comes out of it. There's a really amazing, I don't remember his name, but an amazing cosplay video, probably one of my favorite cosplay videographers right now, at BlurredCon. If anyone can check out the video, I think it's this past year, 2019 BlurredCon. The video is so well shot. He's a filmmaker as well, but it was so well shot, so well done. So it's just like a whole realm of like cosplay videography. But I'm hoping that when cons open up again, that I can do this professionally in the future. So, yeah.
Right, yeah. Thank you so much for showing us. I think that's, I'm hoping cons open up soon and, we're able to do this type of work over. And then I think now with COVID, I think it's going to be a
Yeah.
different way of doing things and
Yeah, I'm so
just being open
nervous.
to it.
I don't know if we will. I don't even know if by next year, honestly, because conventions have like thousands of people packing them
Yeah.
at the same time. So I honestly can imagine. I don't know. I don't know if we'll have cons early in the year next year,
Right.
fortunately. It'll be so interesting, because I'm saying those cons are packed. Those cons are, you have thousands of people like at the con waiting in line to get into registration.
Oh, yeah.
How do you social
Mm-hmm.
distance 1,000 people? It's hard,
Mm-hmm.
and to limit. Okay, we can only have X amount of cosplayers there. Then it kind of takes all the fun of people who wanted to go XYZ. And the funds of running a con as well, because it's super expensive to rent out a whole convention center. I've staffed it, so like I know how expensive it is. All the people are volunteers, but they also get hotel rooms for a lot of these volunteers as well to stay, because they're volunteering their time. an equivalent, for I guess the cost paying us. So yeah, it's a lot. So I don't know if Katsucon is one of the first cons of the year in February. So I don't even know if.
Yeah, we just
It's okay.
cross our fingers and toes to see what happens.
Okay.
So we have about 5 minutes before Instagram always say kicks me out, but kicks us out. So my question to every guest that comes on is, how do you envision collaboration for whether it's your cosplay or whether it's your videography platform?
Yeah, I want to collaborate more with there's so many talented cosplayers out there who are constantly making amazing content that I would love to collab with. I know I have a collab plan with some friends for a cosplay coming up end of this month. Look out for it. Hopefully we go through with it. So definitely in that sense, I love to collaborate with cosplayers there. And in terms of videography, I want to say it's hard. I guess depending on, like I said, I don't have a lot of anime friends who live close by me, like the ones I talk to online. So there's like video editing ideas like I want to do, but I only have like Be Myself and I, and like maybe a few people who might be interested in doing it. So in terms of collabing, video wise, YouTube wise, I would love to, but again, everyone who I would want to do it does not live near me right now. So I want to collab with a lot of people in the future. It's definitely a goal of mine. I definitely want to stress in the content that we collab on with like motivation, and I want to say mental health in a way that connects to a certain anime that inspires us, that we think about. Like for me, it is like the phrase from Gurren Lagann, which is "Believe in me who believes in you." So it's I want to be able to stress that like with whatever content that I produce, that is it is inspiring people and it's uplifting people, and it's not just for like an aesthetic view of something, but it's something they can like take back and apply to their actual life. So
No, that's amazing, and it will, will be done. If it's something you envisioned and want to be done, it will be. And so those of you who are watching now or watch later on Instagram TV, you heard her collaboration ideas and requests. This is Samurai Asia. She's a cosplayer, anime YouTuber, videographer. Where can people find you?
You can find me on this Instagram page, Samurai Asia. Other things coming out. I'm starting a blog, so that is super exciting as well. So I will probably have more details when the blog is published on my Instagram. And yeah, I think that is. I have Facebook. I don't want to use it, so I don't want to do Facebook. I don't use Twitter either. So yeah, I think it would just be YouTube and Instagram for now.
Okay, so I'll have that information in the description after this. Samurai Asia, thank you so much. It's a pleasure. Be on the lookout for her at the next convention, whether it's online or whether it's in person. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it so much.
Yes, take care.
Okay, bye.
Bye.